Hi. So for my assignment, I decided to do the video over again. So when it comes to Kung Fu Panda, I decided to do that just because of the fact that it teaches a lot within the premise of the cartoon. When it comes to the audience, I would probably have to say it's around children to young adults to adults, just because it teaches you a little bit of everything for every period of your life. Now, in the movie, a quick summary of the movie would be you have this panda who's going through life and he just wants to follow his dream and become a martial artist. But his dad refuses to allow him to become a martial artist. He wants him to take over, his restaurant and run that from there. And he refuses to go along with that because he's like, my passion is not noodles, it's kung fu. And so he goes through these extremes to try and see who the dragon warrior is. And it just so happens that he is actually the dragon warrior. But when it comes to the animation is a teaching lesson. It's everything that you need in that scenario. The movie talks a lot about figuring out who you are, figuring out what you want to be, who you are, and what your passion is, and never quitting. Never quitting no matter how hard something gets. And the goal for the movie is to teach kids, and not only kids, but adults too, to teach them that it's okay to not know who you are. It's okay to feel discouraged because no matter how hard life gets, you're always going to feel that way sometimes. But you have to rise to the occasion. You have to let all of that go. And so when I was thinking of my question, what would be my question for this? My question would be, do cartoons actually teach children what they need to know? Do they actually understand what they're looking at? And for me, I believe they do. And so I looked up a few people that could discuss that topic. Do cartoons actually help children understand what's happening? Do they understand what's going on? So the first person I figured would help with this, his name is Warwick Daniel, and he did this in 2019. And he talks about cartoons and the representations that a child goes through when they're developing. And do they actually understand? And this topic I chose because it's about bullying behavior. Because in the movie, Po is bullied constantly by Master Shifu, by all of his peers. Everybody is discouraging him and bullying him, telling him that he's never going to be good enough. So I chose that one because of that aspect. Now, the next one that I chose to talk about was from a teacher's perspective. Do cartoons actually help children? And her name is Kanji Irene, and she did this post around 2020, 2021. And this one is pretty much about cartoons and how they influence kids. Now, you can have a negative influence or you can have a positive influence. But I chose this one because of the fact that for me, Kung Fu Panda has a positive influence because it teaches you how to stand up for yourself, how to be strong, how to be courageous, how to be brave when you need to be brave, and how to realize that, you know what, I may not be like everybody else, but I'm me, and that's okay. And so you teach that to your children, and then they understand, you know what, it's okay to be me. There's nothing wrong with me. I am perfectly fine the way I am, and that's true. Now, the last person I picked because of the fact that it touches on about children, but it also touches on adults. And this this information is about helping parents. Now, Kung Fu Panda, you think to yourself, how can that help you become a better parent? Well, there are things in the movie that teach you how to become a better parent, such as don't allow your kids to think that there's something wrong with them. If they do things out of the box, then that means that they're just creative and they're inspiring and they like to do things that are not normal. And there's nothing wrong with being different. Everybody's different. If we were all the same, the world would be a bland place. And so for this essay, I chose Carrero Cara. She does this around 2020 to 2021 again. And it's just ways on how to teach parents that what happens in the movie you can actually take to heart and realize that it's actually very good information. Such as when Mr. Ping talks to Poe and he says, Poe, I'm already proud of you. You don't have to do anything more, anything extra. You are special just the way you are. Now, if you want to go and follow your dreams, go and follow your dreams, but you are perfect just the way you are. And that shows that, you should have that talk with your children, that they are special. They're perfect just the way they are. And so when it comes to this movie, it really does have the audience of children to young adults to adults, because he goes through things and he goes through his own trials and tribulations, and he realizes that he's perfect just the way he is, by having the end scene talk about how the secret ingredient to the noodles was never really a secret. It's just normal noodles. There's nothing that makes it extraordinary. It's just noodles. And that's how Poe understands the scroll. Right? As he pulls the scroll out and he looks at it and it's just a reflection of himself, he sees that you don't need anything extra to make you special. You're already special the way you are. And so when it comes to this assignment, I really wanted to go deep into that, because there are a lot of people in the world that think that they're not good enough, and they are perfect just the way they are. So thank you for watching, and I really hope I got my point across. And done.